It's Thursday night, and it's time to unwrap Las Vegas right here on VANR. That's VegasAllNetRadio.com, which means it's time for Vegas Unwrapped. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Aaron Phillips and Ricky Cash.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio. Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, Bobcat on the board, Jpeg behind the camera, and you, the listener, for another episode of Vegas Unwrapped, coming to you live from Vegas All-Net Radio Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada. Have we got a show for you, Mr. Cash? How are you tonight, sir?
I am excellent. Upstanding.
Upstanding. No, you're actually sitting.
Yeah, well, that's
you couldn't stand up long enough.
No, that's upstanding for me.
For you, that is. That's more upright than anything else.
That's right. I'm upright.
That's right. We want to welcome everybody, especially our friends on the East Coast that are bearing out from the 5-inch blizzard conditions that they had earlier this week. But the upper mid-Atlantic states, my God, Massachusetts, 2 feet of snow,
2 feet,
ice.
right?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Did you see that in Scituate, Massachusetts?
In where?
Scituate, it's called.
Okay.
And they have a house that had 4 inches of ice around the entire house.
Ooh.
Can you imagine that?
No, I can't imagine snow right now. Yikes. Well, we want to wish everybody to be warm and safe out there. And we want to thank you for tuning in tonight. VegasAllNetRadio.com. If you're listening to us on podcast, hello, everybody on podcast. Glad you joined us to pick up what's going on. 702-483-4444 is our studio line. You want to Skype us, you could Skype us at Vegas All-Net Radio and join in the conversation. Before we get to our guest who's sitting at the microphone, is a very special guest, someone that we know, but she's got a dual identity for us tonight.
Yes, she does.
I want to let everybody know that later on in the hour, we have our Nicole and Samantha, our guests from Compassion Care Hospice, here tonight, making their monthly appearance to share some thoughts with us about the difference between intake care and crisis management care, right?
It should be very informative.
Yeah, we were getting a little bit of it in the green room before we got on the air, and should be interesting what's going on. You wouldn't think there's a whole lot of competition in hospice care, but boy, there seems to be a brewing.
Yeah, I got the impression that this could be a little livelier than we expected.
And that would be great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Doing It with Styles coming up later on in the first hour. Unwrapped Treasures, Las Vegas dates and history, possibly some weird news. Folks, you know how the second hour goes around here. We quickly digress when we hit the top of the hour, so who knows what to expect. But now, more importantly, Mr. Cash, did you step on a mouse or something over there? Yeah. Mr. Cash, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes, one of the very, very first and diamond member of the Ricky Cash fan club has come down to the studio tonight. This is Ms. Kathy Rickley.
Well, it's technically Mrs.
I know it is.
She is married.
I know, but in this
Robbie will get pissed at you. Remember, he was a cop and an army guy.
Yeah, I know, but
although he can talk about female defense pretty good too.
And I've crowned Kathy the networking queen.
Yes.
And on her photo I put networking's finest.
There you go.
There you go. And that's Kathy Rickley. And Kathy, welcome to Vegas Unwrapped. It's been a while since you've appeared on the show.
I know. Thank you very much. I've missed you guys.
Well, you're out there networking every day and doing a lot of different things. What's your main program you're pushing these days?
Oh, well, I'm going to be the branded Sensi lady in this town, I think, for a very long time.
Yeah, you're not giving Sensi up.
No, I'll be the oldest lady slinging wax this side of the Mississippi.
Now I got one upstairs and one downstairs, so I know that's true.
I love this time of year. We only get it very briefly, where I can actually ride with the wax in the car 24/7. That's not gonna last very long. And then
6 more months, you're in trouble.
And I'll be hauling ice cooler, but everything's from going to a beer keg party with my ice coolers behind me. I said, no, it's wax. That's something that fun. But yeah, so anyway, I'm here to I'm super happy to be a diamond member of the Ricky Cash fan club. I don't know if you can see this. Nobody on the air can see this, but
they will on YouTube.
That's it. This is what you get. Goodies at every level, and there's a $10, $20, and $30 a year level. So I would encourage you to do the $30 a year level, because you get all kinds of goodies.
Tell them what you got for your membership.
Well, I got My husband loves. I get to sleep with Ricky Cash every night because I get this super big pajama size. I love Ricky Cash, and I even got him an extra one. So now we're both going to wear one.
Great.
I don't know how happy he's going to be about
I was going
that.
to say Robert's sleeping with Ricky Cash.
And Cammie's listening.
Hi, Cammie. I've gotten show tickets. I've gotten cool buttons and pens. Can always use pens, especially when we do vendor shows. You know, the first thing people want to do is walk off with your pen.
Absolutely.
So there's lots of Vegas Unwrapped pens walking around out there in the community. I'm pretty sure.
That's okay.
You also got a signed.
I did. I got an autographed photo of Ricky Cash that we're probably going to put like just above the bed, and I didn't say that out loud.
On the ceiling, right?
On the ceiling. I got a nice button. You just got all kinds. But more importantly than the goodies you get, it's where this money is going to, and it's to help the community in need. I mean, if there's ever somebody, it's always great to give them kudos and say we pray for you, which is always important. But sometimes people just need a couple of really cold hard cash dollars to help out with their problem or issue or cause. And the Ricky Cash Fan Club, that's where all the money goes to. That's collected from the community to help the community, and that's what I really want to get the point to get across. But you do really get a cool T-shirt.
By the way, we've made it easier than ever to join the fan club. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page, Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio, and Facebook created this new thing called a call to action button.
I love that.
And they just did it a couple of weeks ago, maybe the beginning of the year.
Love
and
it.
It keeps coming up when I go to the page. And finally this morning I decided to check it out. And I set up a button called Sign Up. Just click on that. It's going to take you direct to our GoFundMe page, GoFundMe.com/Ricky Fan Club. Click on that. And all the information about the backstory, about why we started the fan club, where the funds are going to, and the 3 membership levels are all right there. So it's real simple. Just go to that sign up button there on our Facebook page and become a member. So let us, as we like to say, help us help others. John has the floor.
Hey, I got a question. Can you join more than once?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As many personalities as you have, you can join.
There you go.
And if you joined at a $10 or $20 level and you want to upgrade,
you can do that.
All you have to do is pay the difference.
There you go.
And we'll get you the rest of the stuff. So, but I mean, again, folks, the money does go to the good causes that are out there, and not just in the Vegas community, because obviously we're across the internet, and we do get requests periodically from our demographics around the country. And we'll support whatever we think we can. And like you said, Kath, and you said it best, we're asked to make appearances, MC events, and things like that. But sometimes the people that are hungry don't give a rat's ass about Phillips and Cash hosting an event. They'd rather have the food in their belly.
Exactly.
And so $25, $50, $100, whatever we could do to make it better for those families in need or the causes, hell, we'd be right there.
Right now, we're collecting off each membership for the Relay for Life on April 18th over in Henderson, Foothills High School.
Right.
And portion of the Ricky Cash Fan Club is going to go to support the American Cancer Society.
That's right. There'll be our 4th year hosting down there, you said.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
4th year. Wonder what color T-shirt they're going to come up with this year.
Right. I hope we've had orange and white and yellow.
Right.
I'm hoping it's red because, I like red.
You're a red guy.
I love red.
Because you wear your burnt orange and striped T-shirt. Yeah.
Well, he's colorblind. He doesn't know.
Orange?
To him, it looks red.
Burnt orange is very cool. I do like that.
Is this orange?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Let's see your socks.
I said to Kim this morning, pull out one. Give me a red shirt. I must be rubbing off.
That's a red shirt when you bought it, right?
Oh, that's even more special. Thank you very much. Boy.
I didn't think we were going to digress until the second half.
This week took 9 minutes to trash me. Last week took 8 minutes.
Well, with Kathy in the studio, we could digress at any time.
Yeah, I know. So we can
And
rein
I'm
it
going
in
to get
when
a
we
call
need to.
tomorrow. I'm going to get a call from Lois tomorrow. I know it. She's going to say, "Oh, you're giving out T-shirts in the studio, but you haven't sent my stuff out yet."
And Bella Capo's waiting on hers.
I know. I have hers too. It's all ready to go.
Yeah, it's got to go.
We're just raising the funds for shipping.
Yeah.
No, we're getting there. It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, well, if you give me gas money, I'll deliver them.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I just want to give a shout out to my peeps on Facebook that have liked the Vegas Unwrapped page. I did post it on my fan page and my personal page. These guys are totally supportive of local our business community, especially small business owners and large. They've helped me from the very beginning since I got out of the JOB race and got into my own ventures. No matter what I'm doing, these guys have been totally supportive, and they're my biggest fans, so I'm their biggest fan. So whatever I can do to help you.
We, with your help and sharing our links, we're now up to 1681. We started the night at 1677, which our goal.
Count your fingers.
That's one says 712 62 hike.
Okay.
By our 6th anniversary show,
maybe we'll hit 1700.
we should hit 1700.
Absolutely, yes.
That would be great.
6-year anniversary coming up March 13th, and we're
in a live remote from somewhere we don't know yet.
Well, I'm going to plant a seed right now.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk to you secretly after the show.
Okay.
We're going to talk about something where I'm going to help you gain more fans in a blink of an eye.
All right.
And they're going to be real fans, real people, and people you can call on the phone, and not little bot heads that some people out there.
Okay, we're not buying leads. We're not buying.
No, none of that.
Are we going to show naked pictures or something?
Please, you want to lose members?
I didn't
say it was.
We will lose.
I never said it was us.
I hope not. Holy
Never said it was
Nikes.
us.
Only naked kitty cats and doggies. That's it.
Oh, okay. Very good. Well, we'll have to save all that for an after dark segment. So we got to get back to that. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah,
anyway,
right.
Kathy, thank you so much.
You even got thrown off a show in a while.
That's true. That's true.
Kathy,
thank you so much for stopping by and supporting our efforts, and we appreciate it. I mean, your support for us is greatly appreciated. Enjoy the shows, and just keep doing what you do, man, because you're an inspiration to a lot of people for what you do.
I am.
And don't ever take that for granted that you're not, because you do it successfully, and we appreciate it.
I'm here to serve, and I'm here to help.
Look forward in the near future, folks, to hear and see Kathy once again appear on Vegas Unwrapped as she unwraps a new venture that she's going to be getting involved in.
Hey, it's all about choice and variety. Makes
There
the
you
world
go.
go around.
There
Thank you
you
very
go.
much, guys.
Plus, if you need social media help, Kathy is really good with social media too. So she's multifaceted.
I'm just a social media geek. Just
There,
say
that's
it
all
what
right.
it is.
With
you
all
know.
that you do, you have to be. I mean,
And that's great.
by the way, speaking of which, you can now check out Vegas Unwrapped on Instagram and Pinterest. Don't ask me why I started those.
Pinterest?
I did.
Wow.
Pinterest and Instagram. I still haven't figured out if somebody out there listening could call in or message me through Facebook and tell me the benefit of one over the other. Pinterest versus Instagram. Business
Instagram is
versus
very
social.
cool. I like Instagram.
I mean, it's
because-
mostly pictures.
Well, but it's a social picture media.
Right. So
where
what's Pinterest?
Well, you can
It's
link
pictures.
them directly to your Facebook and your Twitter instantly.
Instagram.
Right. Yes, and I could show you how to do that.
No, when you post the picture, it comes up, gives you the options. So then what's Pinterest is all
I
pictures?
haven't ventured into Pinterest land. I got to draw the line somewhere. I'm just on everything,
See, my wife Robin says that Pinterest she likes to use when she searches for like arts and crafts stuff and all of that sort of thing.
If you
But
have a very
it's still pictures.
Yeah, if you have a picture-driven business or service where the pictures speak louder than words, then I would say go with Pinterest. But Instagram for
So for Vegas and Rap, which you think would be better?
Instagram. Absolutely.
There you go.
That's Kathy Rickley's vote.
There
right
you
there.
go.
There
And
you go.
that's
I got a lot of pictures to upload on Instagram. I have a whole laptop filled with pictures.
Use your phone.
I know.
Stop. Get rid of the flip phone and get yourself.
No flip phone. I don't have. Where's my phone?
I just got rid of mine.
Oh, you just had the bad phone.
I just got the big night phone.
Got
I
a big
love
bad
it.
phone.
You got the brick. No, you know what?
Matches Ricky's shirt though.
It does. There you go. Burnt orange.
Good grief.
But no, see, Instagram, it is a phone app, and you can actually access Instagram on your laptop, as I found out, but you can only see. You can't really do anything with it. So I had to somebody recommended, because I asked, how do you take pictures from your laptop or computer and put it on Instagram? And it was recommended to me by actually Heather Weinberger,
Grambler, yeah.
So I'm using that to actually upload whatever pictures I want from my laptop onto Instagram.
I can't even change I can't even change the cover picture on my Facebook page. That's how far behind I am.
Tell me that. I can help you with that.
I am
My goodness.
so weak in those areas.
And his VCR is still blinking 12 o'clock too, by the way. So
Betamax.
Yeah.
Hey,
he still has 8 tracks.
I was going to say, will you please return my 8 track?
He still has that going on. So
My
very good.
45s.
Your 45s.
78s.
Oh my
33s.
God. I remember going into Joe's Crab Shack. Speaking of which, I got to give a shout out to Sergio over at Joe's Crab Shack over on Lake Mead and Rainbow. I was in there a couple of weeks ago, and he busted my chops because I neglected to mention him when I talked about my experience and gave the waitress Michelle and all that stuff. So he busted my chops. So last time I was in there with Stacy and Robin before she went back to school, I told her, I said, tell you what, because I ordered the same coconut shrimp and all the other stuff. Comes with 10 shrimp. I said, I'll tell you what, Sergio, you give me 12. I'll make sure I mention you on the air. So sure enough, out comes my plate. And what they did was they put the 2 extra off to the side.
Yeah.
So I could see it on the plate versus the other 10. So I said, all right, Sergio. I said, you got it, man. You give me my 12. I'm all over you. So Sergio, Michelle, everybody over there at Joe's Crab Shack, I want to thank you for taking care of me and my family when we go in. So I want to encourage you, when you go in, ask for Michelle. She's a great server there, just loaded with personality, and she's fun to be with. And that's, to me, part of the attraction of going out to eat, is having that great experience.
And the coconut shrimp is
good, especially with the apricot sauce. Anyway, I have no idea how I got off on that tangent, but it's time for our first break.
All right.
So we can bring Nicole and Samantha in from Compassion Care. Thank you again, Kathy, for stopping in. We appreciate it. All right, you're listening to Vegas Unwrapped, VegasAllNightRadio.com. Compassion Care Hospice will be in the house on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. Time flies when you're having fun, isn't it?
No question about it. By the way,
That's what they say.
I got to give a quick shout out to Cami, who was listening, but lost her connection, but now is back on.
All right.
So now she'll have to listen to the podcast to hear about all the nice things I said about her.
Or she could go to YouTube.
Or she can go to YouTube and watch it
video.
tomorrow, sometime
That's right.
late in the afternoon.
That's right. All right. So good job. Good job. Does the president ever listen to the show?
The president sometimes listens to the show.
He should have been here with all of our members that came to get their stuff tonight.
It was incredible. The turnout was beyond belief.
That's right.
Unreal.
He should have been here to thank everybody.
Well, we'll get him on. He wants to see Bob Backlund.
Yes, we'll talk about that a little later.
Badly.
Yes, I
Okay.
figured he would. All right, we want to welcome at this time our good friends over at Compassion Care Hospice, Miss Samantha and Nicole Sam is what you prefer, right? If I remember last time? Okay, see, I remember that stuff. Welcome, ladies. Go right into that microphone, pull it towards you there. Nice to see you guys.
You too.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having
Always be
us.
part of Vegas Unwrapped. How's everybody over there? Lori, everybody good
Very good.
at the shop?
Yes, very busy
Yeah.
New Year.
I almost hate to ask what makes it busy for Compassion Care Hospice. Well, I mean, what do you gauge to say that is it busy because you're marketing so much? Is it busy because obviously increasing clientele? I would hope, but not. It's kind of hope people are bad enough to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So-
Honestly, right now with the flu season,
Right. Oh, yeah.
we've picked up quite a bit, and then just after the holidays, sometimes it's hard during the November, December months for families to make decisions.
Sure.
At the first of the year, we tend to kind of get a little bit more busy.
No, really, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that.
The flu season has brought out some very, very scary numbers. 5 children.
Yes.
That's really, really sad. So what do you guys do in terms of dealing with that aspect of hospice with the flu stuff, with the older people?
We actually do have some patients in facilities who picked up flu-like symptoms, and we do treat them for the flu. So it's not something that we ignore. But we treat them to the best that we can with everything going on their day-to-day basis, too, and their medical care.
Wow. Yeah, this flu thing is just crazy, and it'd be a whole nother topic for a whole nother show. But all right, so tonight you want to talk about what now? The difference between.
We definitely want to touch on inpatient placement versus our crisis care program.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's start off by explaining the difference between the two.
Okay.
Let's talk about the in-care. Let's start with that, and then we'll go to crisis. So share your thoughts on what that is.
Okay. Well, an inpatient, or what's called an IPU in hospice terms, is short-term placement for somebody that is on hospice services that needs symptom management. So, for example, if they are having extreme pain issues, shortness of breath, something that is uncontrollable in the home setting, and they need to be moved to an inpatient unit to take care of those issues.
Okay.
And then our crisis care does not involve any inpatient unit at all. It's a special program where our patients stay at home. We treat them at home so we don't have to move them to an inpatient unit. We have a nurse that comes to their home and will stay with them for a minimum of 24 hours or longer, depending on the situation, to treat any of those symptoms.
Okay. Now, explain what an inpatient unit would be. What is that? What does that mean?
Inpatient unit is either a hospice unit or another hospice place in a rehab, hospice rooms in a rehab.
Gotcha.
A lot of times people are admitted to hospice and they're placed in these inpatient units, but then shortly after they're either going to have to relocate back home or into another facility. Which is a lot to think about if you're going through the emotions of putting your loved one on hospice and then realizing a few days later that you have to move them.
Gotcha.
So our goal with the CC and the crisis care team is to keep the patient at home at all times. So your loved one is home and you know they're comfortable.
Right.
And there's a licensed nurse sitting there with them to either medicate, clean, keep them 100% comfortable.
Right.
Again, without having to leave the home.
Gotcha.
I think it's amazing that you can do that, because I know that when somebody is in hospice, away from the home, the loved ones just don't know what's going on.
Right.
Whereas if they're in the home, they have the feeling that everything is close by, and if anything should happen, they're there, and that's important.
And I want to clarify for our listeners who may be hearing of Compassion Care for the first time or don't recall, but you guys are primarily an in-home provider, unlike another hospice center that's here in town, which I won't mention their name. You guys can mention that in our discussions, as we were talking about before the show, if you want, where they have a facility where they have rooms where you can go and be taken care of, versus what you do, and that's primarily the goal of keeping them at home and servicing their needs at home.
Right.
So I wanted to clarify that for a listener that's here, maybe hearing this for the first time.
Well, and that's the main thing to understand, is an inpatient unit is basically a very institutionalized, lack of a better term, like a hospital setting.
Right.
There's, I think, 10 or 12 beds in an inpatient unit.
Okay.
Like I said, you feel like you're in a hospital room, where a lot of people don't want that. They want to be in their own bed and sleeping next to their spouse, or be able to relax at home on the couch when they're feeling well.
Sure.
Not be in such a setting where they feel like they're in a hospital. So,
and a lot of people are nervous, especially if they're starting out in the hospital or in a rehab and they're first referred to hospice. The spouse or the family gets nervous to bring them home. How am I going to take care of them? I can't do this. He's in pain. That's when we, don't worry, we're going to get them home. That's the goal. Most patients don't want, and I don't mean, to sound blunt at all, but most patients don't want to die in a hospital.
Of course.
They want to die at home. So our goal is we'll get them home right away. We'll keep that nurse there, make sure they're comfortable, make sure their spouse understands all the medications, all the care that we're providing. And then once we feel that the patient is comfortable and the family is comfortable with them at home, that's when we go back to the routine care, where you get the nurse visits weekly or more if needed, and, keep a close eye on everything.
I think what most people that don't know enough about hospice believe that once you're in hospice, the end is like a day or two away.
right.
And that's not the case.
Correct.
Especially when you're at home.
Correct.
Okay, so that's something that people should know about, because, like I said, very few of us, before we have these young ladies come in, really explain what hospice was, because our experience with hospice was with a friend who seemed to go in and out, because, every time he went in, we thought he was going to...
He dodged the bullet so many times.
Yeah, and...
getting into hospice, leaving hospice, thinking that was it, and...
Right.
Just crazy.
Well, and we see that a lot, too, with people that have maybe symptoms that are back and forth. Like you said, they need to be controlled, and then they're under control. And that's the nice thing about crisis care, is you stay at home. We're not moving you to an inpatient unit and then bringing you back home, and 2 days later we're moving you again.
Because all that moving around can't be good for the patient
Absolutely
anyway.
not, yeah.
So, wow.
Especially if there's like a diagnosis of Alzheimer's dementia, that could be the absolute worst thing to do to a patient.
Because they sort of lose their home base, so to speak, of what's normal for them, what's familiar, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
And there is, we do stress, and our number one goal is to keep the patient home and comfortable.
Right.
However, if something's going on at home where there's, the spouse doesn't want the patient home, or whatever the family dynamic is, we do have inpatient where we can place.
Okay. So you have
Temporarily
arrangements with
until-
facilities and whatnot around town. Okay.
Right.
Interesting. Interesting.
There's a lot of misconceptions, though, and a lot of people misunderstand how an inpatient unit works. I don't know
Okay.
if we have time to talk about that.
Why don't we
right
save
now.
that for the other side of the break? That's a great segue. We'll talk about that.
Well done.
You've been on radio before, haven't you?
Have you done this?
I have.
All right, you're listening to Sam and Nicole from Compassion Care Hospice. Phillips Cash, Vegas Unwrapped, coming at you, 702-483-4444. Give us a call, ask your question, or you can Skype us, or you can message me through Facebook. We'll be right back right after this. Calling us pain in the asses, and we have a new sound drop from him because unfortunately I run with them on Wednesdays. They've decided to end their show.
Yes.
So we will no longer be on their Wednesday show, but we still will be on their television show.
Right, that's for sure. In fact, this Monday we're going to go shoot some new.
You have to
new
confirm that,
shots.
don't you?
No, it's done. 1 o'clock.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I thought it
definitely.
needed to be confirmed.
No.
Oh, I haven't put it on the calendar. So you may have been there alone had you not said that. All right, welcome back. We're here with Compassion Care Hospice. Nicole and Sam are here. And right before break, you brought up a great point about misconceptions. So let's kind of pick up from there. And what are some of the misconceptions about the crisis care and the inpatient
unit.
Thank you, IPU.
Well, again, just to reiterate, I know we've probably said it a lot, but hospice is a service. A lot of people think it's a place that you go
Right.
to pass away. Not the case. It's a service provided to you at home. So again, home can be a private residence, an assisted living, a nursing home, a group home, all of those types of things. But when you are considering choosing an inpatient unit, or your hospice tells you that you need to be placed in an IPU, it's very important to understand that, again, that is short-term placement. It doesn't mean that you can live there. You can't stay for, say, I want to say, 2 weeks, and then I want to go home. That's not how it works.
It's not a rehab center or a
Correct.
recovery
Right.
center or whatever.
It's strictly for symptom management. So as soon as your symptoms are under control, if you're having pain and that's under control, whatever the case, as soon as you're better, you have to leave that inpatient unit.
Okay.
And that's something a lot lately that we've been dealing with out in the community with some organizations that have inpatient units, is that we feel people are being misled or they misunderstand
Okay.
that they cannot stay there.
So the misinformation is that they can stay there no matter what, is what you're saying. I just want to make sure that we're clear on what the error is or what's out there.
Yeah, they feel that they can stay in this IPU for as long as they want.
Gotcha.
And then a couple days later, we're getting a phone call saying, wait, why am I being told that I have to go home?
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it's very important for people to understand that it is just short term.
Okay. Now, from what I remember in our previous conversation with you guys, though, when you do your initial intake process, you are reviewing what hospice is. You are reminding them that it is a short-term care. It is symptomatic care. It is all that stuff. So, in a way, it shouldn't be a surprise at the end.
Correct.
But yet, I know you guys cover that at the beginning of the process. So there really should be no confusion.
No, but there's times where, like we were talking about before, if people aren't educated about hospice or it's something that's sprung on them, when you're dealing with emotions or you're dealing with a loved one that's declining very quickly, sometimes you hear things, but you don't really hear them.
Sure.
So, there can be some misunderstandings and things like that. But again, with our crisis care, we truly believe in keeping the patient at home and not having to go back and forth and move them, especially like we talked about with the transportation. Sometimes that can really take a toll on someone if they have to be moved several times. So doing everything that we can to manage symptoms at home is what we love to do.
Sure. Really, one of the best things that we can advise any family or any family member who's looking at hospice, do your research in terms of understanding what hospice is first, before perhaps contacting a provider like you guys, so that what's the old saying? There used to be a commercial back east that used to run where the tagline was, "An educated consumer is the best customer."
Correct.
And because hospice is really, I think, skyrocketed in its use nowadays because of society and our older generations are in more need of it, that people need to educate themselves on really what it is.
Right.
And I think that helps and goes a long way with understanding the relationship between a provider and a patient.
Well, the baby boomers are certainly living quite a bit longer, and they're more educated in terms of what's out there, and it just seems to me that somebody would rather be sick at home, or even worse, but at home with their loved ones rather than being in a hospital or a hospice where they're waiting for the
Look, I hope to God that nobody in this room and any of our listeners should ever need hospice care. But last year, when I was sick for 17 days, I was in the hospital, 4 days at Summerlin Hospital, and then I was in a rehab center for 13 days because of a cellulitis attack I had. So I was down for 17 days.
Wow.
And I was nuts. I was crazy. My skin, I was trying to climb out of my skin because I was just going crazy. I wanted to be home. So the feeling of being in comfortable surroundings and being in those comfortable environments and in that familiarity is mindset. It goes a long way to help with the proper mindset you need to heal.
Right.
So, I know what I felt like. You were in the hospital when you had your bypass surgery. anytime you're tied up and you're not in that home environment, but I would think it's exponentially worse in the situation of hospice, where the patient kind of knows in the back of their mind that this is it,
or this could be it.
This could be it, and so my God, to have the choice of either being in unit or at home, I would think 99.9 out of 100 people would rather be at home with their family and be in their comfortable surroundings, and it's just crazy.
The only people that I would disagree to a certain extent with that is people who are so selfless in terms of thinking about themselves, and they think about their family, and they don't want them to see the family suffer. So,
but I don't think that's a bad trait.
No, I don't either. I'm just saying. But
you're right.
There are some people that would rather be alone because they don't want anybody to see them deteriorating.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that too.
How Samantha mentioned earlier, sometimes even if the patient is telling us they really just want to go home, but their spouse or their caregiver is the one that's, I don't know if I can do this. They're very anxious. That's the great thing with our hospice services, is that we are available 24/7. So it kind of is, a comfort to the family or the caregiver or whoever to let them know, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're feeling uncomfortable about something, or you're not sure if the medication's working properly, you can call us and you're actually going to speak to a nurse.
Right.
So we're there for our patients and our families day and night.
www.cchlv.com?
Yes.
Not bad, off the memory banks is the website for more information about
I actually thought you were cheating. And
I did. Do I not have a white screen?
I'm impressed.
I don't remember the phone number, though. So give the phone number to the facility.
It is, of course, 702-636-0200.
I knew a 2 was in there somewhere. I just couldn't remember besides the area code. But no, check out the information. And I know Cash and I, over the time that we've been working with you guys, and again, we're honored to have you guys as supporters for us. It's been a great education for us to learn so much about the process of hospice and what it is, and really what differentiates you from the rest of the providers here in town. And I can't say enough the thought and philosophy of keeping a patient at home as the main goal in their comfortable surroundings during this time of crisis is paramount to me.
I know we've educated a lot of people with the commercials, with your appearances here now. What is it, like 3, 4, 5 months?
It's been long. Believe it or not, we're coming up on almost a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten many comments.
Oh, absolutely.
Along the way, I've gotten a lot of comments from regular listeners, and then people that say, "Oh, you're the ones that promote Compassion Care."
Right.
It's nice to hear that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do free assessments. Well, everybody does, but Samantha runs our admissions team, and she has amazing nurses that will come out and meet with families. So if anyone has any questions, please call us. us. Just because you want information doesn't mean we're going to sign you up.
That's right. It's a no obligation consultation. The disclaimer. Very cool. Now that's good. So what else is coming down the pike for you guys? Any new marketing? Any new things coming down the pike for you guys? What's happening over the next 6 months or so for Compassion Care? Anything that you can share with us that Lori won't get mad at?
I'll guess that they need more staffing because
they're getting busier.
Yeah, because you must be real busy.
That is true.
We've been hiring a lot. We're still trying to wrap our heads around everything that's happened during the holidays,
Sure.
since the holidays came to a close. Still backtracking and going over everything, how busy we've been the past few weeks.
So your office staff is kind of busy?
Office staff is good, but we're always, if anyone's interested, they can go online and look at our job postings. We're also always looking for volunteers as well for our volunteer
We have
department.
great volunteers who really help our
Talk about that. We talked about that last time, I think, that when you guys were here live in studio.
And it was amazing. So let's hear about it again.
Talk about what the volunteers provide in the program for a hospice patient.
We have a ton of volunteers, some who just go and spend time with patients who want someone to talk with, and then some who have specialties like things, essential oils, animals, music, art therapy, anything that would really put a smile on the face of someone who needs it. Any kind of interest you have, like I said, if you used to be in a band, we have volunteers who play music or have bands. You used to love to paint, we can have a volunteer come and paint with you.
Wow.
There's a ton of options, and we have a lot of great staffing in our volunteer department.
How many volunteers do you currently have now, roughly?
Oh gosh, I would guess.
Whether they're full-time or part-time, I'm just curious how many volunteers you have.
I would say close to maybe 20. That's a guess.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's great.
I know they're spread out all over because we service all of Clark County, but I know, like, in particular in my area, I have quite a few actually that come into my assisted livings and will even run the bingo for assisted living facilities. So
we used to do that with
Kiwanis. We used to do that one of the absolutely. That was fun. Well, you know what? If you have any events going on collectively or whatever, you guys know to let us know what's going on. If we can come down and help out or make an appearance or cover it, or you want us to announce anything that's going on, please, by all means, just let us know, and we'll get it out there for you guys.
Absolutely. I know with all the health fairs coming up and the senior spectacular in March, we will definitely have a booth there. So if people are out,
we will be there too.
More than likely. I'm sure my phone will ring from Nina here momentarily to let us know what's going on. But I want to MC the stage production. That's one thing we got to do.
I know.
So Nina, we want to MC the stage production this year. If not, we'll take a table, and because we did very well. John made a lot of great contacts for us last year.
It was terrific.
And of course, we met these guys there almost a year ago.
Yes.
It's going to be a year in March when we launch it, right?
Yeah.
Do you know when it is in March? Do you have a date yet?
I think it's the 14th, 15th, something like that.
Right before you go away.
That's where
that'll work between us.
That'll work great.
So, very good. Guys, thank you so much for popping in again. We appreciate it, and educating our listeners, and again, your support of our hospice community, I think is so critical, is so important, and we're honored to be working with you guys and helping to get the word out and educating people about the hospice, I don't want to say industry, but the hospice care that's available for in-home. And I want to stress that. This is in-home hospice care where the patient, the client, your relative, whoever's in need of hospice service, stays at home in their comfortable surroundings with friends and family or whatever, to be comfortable through whatever time they have left.
Quite frankly, exactly where I would want to be.
No question. No doubt. But I could also see you and I, being that selfless person you mentioned, where we wouldn't want the family to see us suffer.
It's a little
I could see you and I in that argument.
Yeah, I know, because, and I get it. But
absolutely.
You guys could share an apartment.
Oh, great. Yeah, great. The real odd couple.
We've already shared 6 years of this, plus another 12 on top of that.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks. Say hello to Lori and everybody for us back at the ranch when you head back there tomorrow. We look forward to your visit next month.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Vegas Unwrapped, that's Compassion Care Hospice. CCHLV.com is the website. Check it out for all the information that you need when the time comes for your hospice in-home care here in the Las Vegas area. When we come back, you know what time it is, Mr. Cash?
Doing it with styles.
Doing it with styles. Jpeg comes out in front of the camera. You, the listener, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. We appreciate you listening in to us along the network, VegasAllNetRadio.com. By the way, if you have to leave your computer, don't forget you have the downloadable phone apps that you can download to your cell phones to take us with you.
What is it? The phone app.
Go to your
VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Well, not .com, but you can look up Vegas All Net Radio or VANR.
If you have an Android phone,
yes,
go to the Google Store.
Yep.
Type in Vegas All Net Radio. Takes about 30 seconds. The little blue screen will pop up. Just hit it and it will download. If you have an Apple or an iPhone, go to the Apple Store. Same process. Vegas All Net Radio. Takes about 90 seconds. Boom, you're on, and you can take us on the road.
What about if you have a Windows phone?
What is a Windows phone? I don't know.
It's the one you throw out the window when you don't like it.
Is this one of these like $800?
It's an Android. No, it's an Android.
No,
A Windows-based program is considered an Android.
Is it?
Well,
I didn't know that.
That's what I have.
Cool.
Do you have one of these new phones too?
No, but a Windows-based program is considered an Android phone.
I thought he had one of those crazy $800 Mike Leonetti phones.
No.
I spent enough money on a phone to pay my rent and my grocery bill for 2 months.
You're not kidding. All right, is that time?
What time is that?
For Doing It With Styles.
It's time for Doing It With Styles. Sponsored in part by A.A. Casaro Plumbing and Construction.
All right, we were promised before the show in the green room by Mr. Jpeg,
Someone special,
that tonight's Doing It With Styles is probably going to be one of the best he's ever done.
Wow, that's going to be tough to
close.
top.
All right,
Pretty close.
Let's hear it. Take it away.
This is going to appeal, and actually the timing is great, considering that the Super Bowl is just right around the corner.
Right, no deflated balls here.
Oh man,
maybe some deflated egos, but no deflated balls here.
That's just
I'm going to disagree with
Also, NASCAR fans are going to love this.
All right.
Any race fans are going to love this.
Wait a second.
Rednecks are going to love this.
Wait a second. Is he making fun of me again, you guys?
Yes.
Well, that ain't right.
Well,
yeah, but
I had to cut the old guy some slack here. So
the old guy, 2 years, right? I got him by 2 years, and I'm the old guy.
All right, so are you ready for this?
Yes, do it.
There's very few, well, there is an organization that'll probably be pissed about this, but I'm sorry. All right. The official birthday of the beer can was 80 years ago on January 24th, 1935.
All right.
There you go.
That's the day cans of Kruger's Finest Beer and Kruger's Cream Ale first went on sale in Richmond, Virginia.
Wow, okay.
80 years ago. The beer can's been around for 80 years.
That's a great invention.
But the beer can really made its debut some 14 months earlier, just before the repeal of Prohibition.
Oops.
American Can Company had engineered a workable beer can. All that was needed was a brewer willing to take pioneering plunge. The Gottfried Kruger Brewing Company of Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, baby.
Right.
Newark.
Signed on the dotted line in November of 1933.
Take that, St. Louis.
By the end of that month, America had installed a temporary canning line and delivered 2,000 Kruger's special beer cans, which were promptly filled with 3.2 Kruger beer, the highest alcohol content allowed at that time. Kruger's special beer thus became the world's first beer can.
Wow.
Very cool.
So, happy birthday to the beer can and for doing it with style.
There you go.
Let's hear it for that. Let's get
Right, absolutely.
I like that.
You got a little thing in there for you.
We need a sound effect of a beer can being popped.
Well, why don't you just pop the one you got on
and you know what was cool is they had some pictures of the different types of beer cans.
Okay. They look like soda cans,
the
right?
screw tops.
Yeah.
Remember the old cans for the... There you go.
There you go.
For like
Very
the
good.
brake fluid cans.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
that's what some of the early beer cans looked like.
Like the long necks. Right, yeah.
No, little stubby stouts.
Gotcha.
I remember those things.
Yeah, with a twist off cap.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So did we actually beat the
And
Europe?
the pull tab first came about in March of 1963.
So we actually beat the Europeans at something. We got it first.
Yeah.
I got a question.
We're so proud.
I got a question.
Please.
You said you had something involved with racers and with this thing. Tell me what this has to do.
Have you ever heard of a NASCAR fan that didn't like beer?
Oh, okay. If that's what
That's right. Jeez.
And the Super Bowl, Budweiser, Bud.
Very good. All right, let's play the outro there.
Yeah, we can do that for you.
You want to get rid of Memphis, huh?
I just want to make sure we get a Casaro's commercial in.
Got to pay the bills,
Thank you
man.
for listening to Doing It with Style. Sponsored in part by A.A. Casaro Plumbing and Construction. And heard exclusively on Vegas Unwrapped.
Very good. Thank you, A.A. Casaro. Good job, John. Appreciate that. So,
Do you send the certificates to the?
No, listen.
did you ever send the one to the president? That's the one I want to know.
I honest to God, I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I had a conversation with my sister because they'll probably go after her too. But
That's because she's a Ricky Cash fan club member?
exactly.
Unbelievable.
But I seriously am going to do it. I'm not going to get to do it this weekend, but next weekend I am planning a whole thing where I'm going to send this to the president.
Cool.
By the way, are you joining us this Sunday for our little Super Bowl get-together?
No,
Okay.
sorry.
Jeez.
Gotta work.
That was
I
flat
Working
denial.
Bobcat, we thought you
I
might
have
be.
I have a prior engagement.
Oh.
And to be honest with you, when I made this, I had forgotten all about the Super Bowl.
That's all right.
So
It's all good.
I guess that means we have to go get our own ice cream. Someone else has to get dessert.
all right, here's the thing: if you're going to get ice cream, go get the Bluebell strawberry shortcake ice cream.
Bluebell shirt.
No, wait. Banana split. The banana split. The Bluebell banana split ice cream.
Speaking of food.
Good stuff.
Speaking of food. Did you hear about White Castle?
Yes.
What'd you hear?
I heard that they ran out of...
Closed. They had to close down.
They had to close down.
And it's funny because
They're
it was...
back. They're
Well, yeah, it was just a short term to let everybody get caught up and restock
Did
the
you hear how
shelves.
long the wait was for your burgers?
Hours.
Hour and a half.
Oh.
Now, at 6:30 this morning, there was no one in line.
Yeah, you want to eat that shit at 6:30.
That's the best time to eat it
But
after you've been
here's the
drinking all
thing,
night.
and it's funny that you bring that up because for me it was a toss-up between the beer can and the White Castle opening here in Vegas.
Right.
So the beer can won. Yeah.
No, the beer can was good.
Yeah,
Beer can was
so-
good. All right, so on the other side, I came up with something. We're not going to do a traditional unwrapped treasures after the top, at the top of the hour like we're going to do. I found something online.
We're going to do undressed treasures.
Undressed treasures, yes. Here, I got a list of the 10 biggest Southern Nevada projects. Some have already been completed, some are still underway. So we're going to talk about those
Good.
instead of regular unwrapped treasures.
Well,
Okay.
Those
So
are
just-
good things anyway.
Just thought I'd share that.
Send me that link because that could be something that we could do for TV as well.
It's on the LVRJ website, Las Vegas Review Journal.
Wow.
You'd think
So you got to start reading now too.
You'd think after all these years, he would try to make it just a little bit easier.
How much easier do you want me to freaking print off all your production sheets and weird news?
Doesn't come to the meetings.
Doesn't come to the meetings.
Late.
I pick you up. You don't even have to drive. How much easier do I make this show for you?
Just send me the stuff.
You know what? Maybe he would like to have a ventriloquist voice in
So
here.
maybe I do need to replace it. I don't know, as the commercial says. I don't know.
I knew they were going to replace
That's
me.
right. That's right. Jeez. Well, what's the March 19th? You're going to be out of town?
Yeah, I will be out of town.
Okay, this is breaking news. We're going to have open auditions for new co-hosts on March 19th.
Great. That's great.
So that's why I never miss a show, because I don't know what it'll do. When I was sick in the hospital for 4 weeks, I even had to call in and make sure they remembered me. Jeez, Louise.
We managed.
Yes, you did. You did very well. You did very well. All right. I think
But in all honesty,
Yes.
we were happy you got back.
I know.
What did you do? Did you start crying, going to one of those jags where you're telling sad stories and then
No,
crying?
No, there was a lot of estrogen on the shows when
Yeah, we had
I was off.
Yeah, we had some.
Okay.
I had to call in one night just to save him from all the estrogen that was in the studio that night. Oh my goodness gracious!
Speaking of which,
yes,
didn't we see Diane here earlier?
Yes.
Oh,
Bobcat is here, roaming around.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I know they had a Facebook seminar.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She's-
Yeah.
She's helping Miss Irma, and she's becoming like little Miss Irma assistant to this.
Cool.
She's really catching on to this thing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Maybe
Excellent.
if she understands how Aaron Phillips likes to post to Facebook with his language, maybe I'll give up Facebook to her.
Oh, well, that's your choice, sir.
I know. It's tough, to have someone do it in your voice and post messages the way you want them posted. It's kind of tough to give that up and expect someone else to do it kind of the same way.
You got to be a smart ass.
No, you just, you're just writing things in a certain flavor, or you're writing things and patterns that are just more you, and it's tough to give that up to somebody else to do.
Smart ashes.
Yeah, exactly. I just emailed you that link, you huckleberry.
Got him again.
Yeah. That's right. The best part is that you have to do the work. I don't.
I don't mind doing that, and I have done it rather well, if I might say.
Yes.
So.
You can go to YouTube, by the way, and search Sandy Costello and Friends TV show. If you haven't seen the links that I've been putting up on our Facebook page regarding seeing us do our Unwrapped Legends, and we're going to be changing things up going into the next sequence of taping for the shows. So we're looking forward to that.
It'd be more like a roundtable kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're gonna comment on our stuff.
Oh, God.
That should be interesting.
Oh, God.
Mike's gonna have to sit on his hands.
That's all we need is a couple of Jew bastards coming out during that. We'll be fine.
Two Italians and an Indian walk into a bar.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Two girls walk into a bar.
Two girls walk into a 7-Eleven.
I just found this out
Do you
today.
guys have bananas on sale?
I buy 3. I just found this out today. Apparently through Miss Bobcat, apparently through the Sandy Costello and Chef Michael television program, apparently that, I didn't know this, but we are going to take them racing on TV.
Oh, really?
I don't know how I'm going to arrange this, but
I'd like
that's
to
what-
be there as just a.
You mean over at the Gene Woods?
No.
Didn't you do that once?
No, that's, no. I've done that, and round 2 is coming up. Yes, I've already been told that. But yes, I haven't got the details as of this morning, but apparently through them leaving their radio and going full-time to television, they've asked us to take them racing for one of their television shows.
Wow.
That should be really exciting.
Interesting.
I don't know.
All right, on that exciting note, let's take it to the top of the hour.
Mike
We're a
Lee,
little past it.
Mike Lee and Arity and a bunch of redneck racers. Buddy.
Yeah, watch out. Oh, my God.
Just give him a beer.
That's right. All right, hour number 1 in the books. Hour number 2 coming up on the other side. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio. Phillips and Cash and the crew here in the house. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. For that project. Number 2, the Las Vegas Global Business District at the Las Vegas Convention Center refurbishment. In a bid to attract the international business community, the Convention Center overhaul will include a home for the World Trade Center and incorporate a transportation hub to accommodate several modes of transportation, including buses, taxis, the Las Vegas monorail, and possibly a light rail system.
And 7 Panda Express.
You want shrimp fried rice?
Send your comments. All right, total price tag for that before we get to the number 1.
2.8 billion.
3.1 billion, sir.
$2.3 billion.
I'm getting close.
And the number 1 project here in Las Vegas, Resorts World Las Vegas,
Yep.
Strip Resorts Project. It's a 3,000-room resort by the Genting Group at the former site of the Stardust and Echelon. It'll be the first Strip mega resort to be built in Las Vegas in close to 7 years. Total cost is
$4.9 billion.
$6.3 billion.
$4 billion. And all of these projects, guys, are expected to be completed over the next 3 years.
Not the big road.
Not the big road, but I'm just reading what's here.
Yeah, I know.
$12 billion in capital expenses and spur economic development throughout the valley. Interesting. All right, that does it for that. We're going to take a break. We're going to welcome our guests that just stopped in and maybe get their take on the Super Bowl while they're here. We got Race Car and we got Sergio from Clubhouse Sports in the house. We'll talk a little Super Bowl, see what's going on. get everybody's take on what's coming up and whether
Get some predictions.
they'll get flagged for deflated balls or
And
something.
boy, we got some big NASCAR news that was
Talk
just
about
released
NASCAR.
too, man. I mean,
There
this
you
is
go.
big stuff. 25 days to Daytona, and we've got hot headlines coming up for you next. How about it?
There you go. It's a beautiful thing about hour number 2. We never know what's going to happen
And
around
that's
here.
great with us because
Vegas Unwrapped.
we don't plan anything.
No, we don't. We don't plan anything anyway. VegasUnwrapped.com, and you, the listener, will be back right after this. We are knee-deep in hour number 2, and now it is time for something we haven't done yet tonight, Mr. Cash.
You know, we can also be seen as well as heard.
That's right, YouTube and all that good stuff, but it's time for the Vegas Unwrapped Sports Desk Update with Bobcat.
Thank you, guys. Welcome. Good evening to Vegas Unwrapped. Yours truly, the Bobcat from the Sports Desk. Let's get you a little clip, man. The Lakers, could they be coming on back? They're on top of Chicago right now, 50-37, okay? That's what you got going, all right? Let's take a little NHL hockey. Right now, Minnesota up on top of Coyotes, 1-0. Buffalo up on top of Edmonton, 2-1. San Jose on top of Anaheim, 3-1. And I told you about big NASCAR news. Are you ready, guys?
Ready.
Jeff Gordon is retiring after this year. He is done. He is hanging up the helmet on the number 24 Chevrolet. And guess who's going to take the ride? Guess who it's going to be?
Bobcat.
No, Bobcat doesn't have it. Bobcat's not going to be taking the ride. I'm going to tell you who's going to be taking the ride.
Kyle Busch.
No, it's not going to be Kyle Busch, and it's not going to be Kyle Larson. We're going deep to Georgia, to Awesomeville, Dawsonville. That's right, last year's Xfinity champion, Chase Elliott, will take the ride in 2016 for Jeff Gordon in Hendrick Motorsports. You heard it right here from the Bobcat.
Wow, that's breaking news, man. We get
I knew
scoop
about
right here.
I knew about Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah, we knew he was
But
going
who
to
took
do
the
one more
ride?
year,
That's
but
new.
then taking the ride. Wow.
You know, this all stems because Bill Elliott, who drove for Mellon Racing out of Detroit for years and was a Ford man, right? Well, he hit this thing, and of course Chase won the championship in what was known as the Nationwide, now the Xfinity Series. So they had a meeting in Detroit about Sprint Cup rides. Ford denied Bill Elliott for the ride.
Wow.
Who said we will not factory sponsor him. After he won the championship in his rookie season, it didn't take too long. In fact, less than 30 minutes, Hendrick Motorsports was on the line with a deal.
Wow.
There you go. Chase Elliott will pilot the number 24 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports in 2016.
Nice. They could have had me for White Castle. I don't know what the problem is.
They must have lost my number.
I guess. Something like that.
I'm still waiting for Chick-fil-A to stop this religious horse shit and bring Chick-fil-A to Las Vegas.
We lived in the Carolinas, Mr. Cash. There have been many Sundays that the Mrs. Bobcat and I rolled by and no Chick-fil-A.
I know they won't open on
No,
Sundays.
they
They
won't
won't
do?
come to Las Vegas.
Yeah, Popeye's in
You know,
town.
yeah, come on. Unless you've had Chick-fil-A. I mean, it is the best so far by far.
I want a White
It's,
Castle.
You know, well,
I want a White Castle too, but I'm not willing to go down there as it just opens with the 9 million people down there getting White Castle.
I got an idea.
What's that?
We got BCN next.
Right?
I can teach Sergio real quick how to run.
Oh, you run down
and
and Is that because if we send Sergio to get the hamburgers, none of them will come back?
I can. I
got you.
know.
I got you. All right, we have some of the ladies here from the ladies of On Pit Road Racing here in studio. They wanted to let us know a couple of things going on. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Welcome to Vegas Unwrapped. So what's going on?
Well, we have a big fundraiser going on this weekend, and I'm going to let Janine tell you all about it because she's the one that got us into this.
Uh-oh.
Well, I think they saw our photo on Facebook and decided we would be good chili judges because we are girls who have an appetite.
Okay. And what's going on with this? Where's it at? What's happening?
It's a really great event by Whole Foods Market on Charleston and Rampart. They are sponsoring a bunch of their home chefs, the chefs that make the things that you can buy at Whole Foods that are pre-made and ready to roll.
Right.
Their chefs are having a contest amongst themselves, and they're cooking up different types of chili. And customers can purchase bowls of chili for only $3. It's a cheap lunch date, and it's Saturday the 31st, starting at noon. You can buy the winning chili, you can buy the not-so-willing chili, you can buy the chili that's the hottest, the chili that's the sweetest, the chili with meat, the chili con carne. So there's all kinds of different, and there might be a seafood one, I heard tell.
Wow, a chili
Seafood.
Well, think of it, maybe it's going to be like a seafood stew.
Like shrimp.
Lobsters.
Yeah, like a.
Coconut shrimp.
It could be gumbo-like,
Yeah.
and still
would be
be a
good.
chili, be a concoction of some type.
So it's
That
a
would be good.
cook-off.
It is a contest and a cook-off amongst their own chefs. So
That's pretty. That sounds
Now-
very good.
And we're judging.
You're
What
judging.
what time does it start?
you can start purchasing your chili at noon.
And this is this
right in
Saturday.
the parking lot, right in front of this.
In the store they have a little bistro. It's one of those fancier hold
Charleston
foods.
and
Rampart.
Charleston and
Yeah,
Rampart.
it's right there, right next to the Barnes and Noble.
I think
Oh, that's
across
right.
from the
That's
Boca
right.
Park. There's a men's warehouse in there.
Yes. Yes. Well, the
it-
men's wear. No, it's Whole Foods is across the street, isn't it? From the men's wear from Boca Park. It's not in Boca Park.
No, it's across the street.
Right,
I
across
think
the
it's
street from it. It's where
maybe it's a
Mimi's-
Joseph Banks.
Not Mimi's.
Barnes and Noble's in there.
What's the restaurant? Why am I blinking on the restaurant? That's right there on the corner.
Right next to Joseph A. Bank.
No.
What's the other one?
No.
Well, wherever you
Yeah,
had
they're
plans,
really-
make your new plans for Whole Foods Market.
Jumper.
Thank you. Claim Jumper. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, don't go to Claim Jumper, folks.
No, don't
Come
go.
to Whole
It's in that
Foods.
parking
Yes.
lot. It's in that parking lot.
Well,
Very
no,
cool.
actually in the store, she said.
Well,
Yeah, in
but
the
the
store.
restaurant's in the parking lot, and right.
Don't
They
go
sell-
to the restaurant, go to the store.
I wouldn't go to the restaurant.
Want chili.
No, I'd like to try it. I would
Have
do
a cheap
that.
lunch. I mean, and all the proceeds are benefiting Speedway Children's Charities.
No,
Excellent.
That's the
Whole Foods Market is donating all of it, 100% of it.
best reason to go.
There you go. What time? Noontime? Noontime
Noontime.
to when?
3 or more.
When's
If they
the
have more
judging
chili-
start?
The judging is a pre-judging thing, so
Oh,
we'll
it's
be there
pre-judging.
11 a.m.
Gotcha.
sampling and picking out, and there's other judges besides us, so it won't just be our word for
Who
it.
else is going to be there to judge? You know?
Just regular foodie types.
Wow, they didn't ask us. We like food. How come we didn't get asked?
Next time we'll put it in a good word.
There you go. Put it in the suggestion box.
We can't be everywhere.
We could try.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we never even talked about what we did yesterday. We have to do that too. What we saw, the induction.
Yeah, we'll
We haven't
talk
even
about
talked
that after the break.
Cool. Thank you, ladies. So go on down to the Whole Foods at Charleston and Rampart for some chili cook-off. All right. Who's your prediction for the Super Bowl Sunday, ladies?
I think the Seahawks. I just have a good feeling. I know it's not the popular pick, but I don't know. Maybe Seattle just deserves a win.
Okay. Well, I think they got theirs against Green Bay. For that, I mean, that comeback was tremendous. So I know who you're rooting for. You're rooting for Seattle.
Exactly.
Right.
Nobody but.
How about you,
I'm not a
Serge?
Patriots fan.
Sergio, give us the in-depth information, the reasoning behind your pick.
You know, two very competitive teams. You know, they match up very well. I just think Tom Brady is gonna get his next Super Bowl here. It's gonna be a great game, and as you said, I mean, the Seattle Green Bay game. I mean, and it's funny because I had mentioned to the gang on Pit Road Racing when they were down, I said, don't count them out. All they need to score is a couple touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Do you remember me saying that?
Yes.
And that's what happened.
I turned to my wife when they scored the first touchdown, and I said, this game is not over. And then to watch how it unfolded, I don't know who would feel worse. Bostwick, who fumbled and messed up the onside kick because he wasn't supposed to get it. He was supposed to block and the whole thing. But human instinct just takes over when you see a football. But just and the 2-point conversion, the pass that Russell threw across his body, seemed that it just was. It seems like it's still flying right now because it was just a duck.
He just threw it up there for grabs.
And please explain to me the interception by Green Bay with 5 minutes to go. Why the defensive back went down and didn't try to get better field position? I didn't understand with 5 minutes to go.
And that's the one thing, as you said, one of those things doesn't occur.
It's a whole different ball
and
game.
Green Bay is in the Super Bowl.
No
I mean, and then you look at Green Bay with their 3 and outs the last 2 or 3 series. Horrible clock management.
Calls.
They convert 1 first down or 2 first downs. It's over.
After the interception, they ran Lacey 3 times and he went backwards all 3
exactly.
times. Terrible.
It's just bad clock management. But that's why they're played.
So you're predicting who?
I'm going to go with Tom Brady in the Patriots.
So I think Brady's going to beat the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, well, you know, tough defense.
He's got the sniffles, though.
Well,
that's going to do on Sunday for Brady.
He'll be okay.
And they had a fire alarm pulled on him at 2 in the morning this morning. Did you hear that? People thought it was Rex Ryan. Pull the alarm on them.
I'm just hoping for a good game.
Absolutely.
I think it will be. It sounds like the matchup is perfect.
It looks like it's going to end up as a pick'em. That seems to be where the trend is.
It's been going back and forth.
Point
It
there,
opened,
point there.
pick'em. Now it's what?
It's one.
It's one.
Yeah.
New England one.
New England plus one. I mean, that's as close. That's
Minus one.
Or minus one. That's a pick'em in my mind. 1 point.
I mean, for the Vegas books, you got to have it at least on one side or the other, right?
Well, you have 350 prop bets you can also select.
Exactly.
Probably.
That's where the money is made by the casino.
Yeah, the handle last year I think was over 900 million or something.
90 million.
Yeah.
No, it was almost 100 million.
Yeah.
It was the biggest handle ever. We're going to beat.
right.
We're going to beat
Yeah.
that this year.
116, I think somewhere around there, 90 to 116. But yeah, people are going to lay down their money because what do they say? More people come to Vegas than the actual Super Bowl site.
Oh, no question.
Super Bowl
about
weekend.
that.
Absolutely. What did we used to say in timeshare? About 150,000 people came in during Super Bowl weekend.
Not
Maybe
far
more
from
than
the
that,
truth.
something like that. I mean, you're right. More people come in for the action than the actual game. But I'll be home in front of a toasty TV and no lines in the bathrooms.
So you're not coming either now?
No. I'm coming to your house. You got a bigger screen in HD than mine.
There you go.
So, good job. Thank you guys for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
What do we have till spring training? 30 some odd days?
No, 27.
All right, 27 days.
Yeah, man, that's
27
it.
days.
25 days to the Great American Race, man. It's just a hooking, hopping thing,
That's
man.
it. You got it. Duke, Mike Krzyzewski. Mike Krzyzewski gets 1,000 wins and then blows it against Notre Dame
Nice.
last night. So a lot of things happening in sports. So, guys, thank you for stopping by. You may see us for Chili Saturday. We may stop by and see you guys.
Try to do that.
We would love that. Thank you.
All right, you got it. We'll get it out there. And that's it. Take us to break.
Oh, I can do that for you, sir.
Yeah, let's go to break.
Let's do it, man. We're down the final stretch. Around the clubhouse turn we come. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped right here on VegasAllNetRadio.com. Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, Jpeg behind the camera, and yours truly, the Bobcat on the board. Back with the final segment. Here we go. Downhill.
All right.
Yes, God damn it, Ricky Cash does have a fan club.
Wow, do you listen to him tonight? I mean, before we go, an F-bomb might come out if you get him riled up.
No.
He hasn't gone there yet.
No.
All right, so let's segue off of what everybody just talked about, Mr. Cash and
Sure.
Jpeg and Bobcat. Why don't we make some Super Bowl predictions before we talk about where we were yesterday afternoon?
Go
who'd
first,
like to go
Bobcat.
first?
I'll go first. I'm going to take 31-27 Seattle. That's my pick for it.
Okay,
31-27.
Jpeg?
Give me a minute.
Cash?
Can you imagine he needs a minute? Can you imagine? I mean, like, this is a tough decision. New England 35, Seattle 31.
Ooh, what?
Seattle 35, New England. What'd you say?
31. I said New England 35.
You took the Patriots.
Oh, you took the. And who did you take?
I took Seattle. I took them 31-27.
Okay.
I'm going to have to agree with Bobcat. I mean, Seattle's going to take it, but score-wise, I'm just not really sure that the score is going to be that high.
So give us your score.
I'm thinking.
Jesus.
Look, I got 10 toes and 10 fingers, so give me a chance. I got to count and then multiply.
We only got 23 minutes of the show left.
right.
You sure that's not Ricky?
All right. Here you go. 21-14 Seattle.
21-14, a low-scoring game.
I don't think the score is going to be that high.
Wow.
We shall see.
Wait, who's playing again? No.
How many innings are in this football game? I've been waffling back and forth between Seattle and New England. I mean, I love Seattle's defense, but they're banged up a little bit. But you give Bill Belichick 2 weeks to plan for any opposition, and I think he's going to have a plan to stop Russell Wilson, or at least control Russell Wilson.
And stop Marshawn Lynch.
And stop Lynch, although Lynch can run over people no matter what. I think, as much as I'm an NFC guy because of my Giants, I think I got to go with the Patriots in this one. I'm thinking 28-24.
Wow. Ooh. So there you
What's
go.
the over/under on the game? Do you know?
It's high. It's 61.
61?
Yeah.
It is a little high. I thought that too.
Yeah.
I just to me that sounds too big a number for, because usually it's still the Super Bowl. It takes a little time for these teams to get used
And
to
yet the first quarter, you know what the under-over is?
9. I heard that.
Yeah,
I
so
heard
that's interesting. So they figure after they spar a little in the
Right.
middle of the
Yeah.
ring, then the second quarter, third quarter, they're going to go to town.
There will be blood.
I just don't see them really opening up to score 40 points.
So
either side.
I don't see Seattle being able to score that many points. That's the whole point. They're not an offensive-oriented team. If the defense can score and make some turnovers and stuff like that and give them a short field, then their game is in their hands.
Except Russell Wilson can extend plays like a few quarterbacks.
No question about it.
And when he's extending plays, waiting for someone to get open, I mean, look at the overtime touchdown he threw.
Yeah.
Brady has a little thing about the stadium he's playing in. This is the stadium he lost to the Giants.
Yeah,
in
he's
his
not had
perfect season.
Yeah,
right?
he has not had. In fact,
he wants this game. badly.
He's lost there twice, hasn't he?
No, just
once there.
But he wants this game bad.
Yeah.
So
Well,
see.
choke. He's
I'll
gonna
tell
choke.
you what, this shapes up to be the best Super Bowl in years. I mean, last year everybody thought, oh, Denver's going to kill him, and Seattle just annihilated Denver. So we'll see what happens.
You just never know where the emotions take you in a game like this. You know?
This is beyond anything else. This is like the 7th game of the World Series. I mean, there's a lot of, this is tremendous.
And there's a lot of storylines on both sides. I mean, New England making their 6th Super Bowl appearance, tied, I think, most with any other, like the Steelers and those guys. If Belichick wins, he'll get 4 wins, tying him with Chuck Noll. And that, I think Chuck Noll's the only other guy that's got 4 Super Bowl wins.
And Brady gets his 4th.
Brady will get his 4th, which will put him with Montana
and
Bradshaw, right? So I mean, there's a lot of intrigue, and then Russell Wilson on the other side. He's the first quarterback to quarterback a team twice in his first 3 years of being in football, and since the
haven't been to back-to-back
since the Patriots did it in early this 2000
2003
right.
2004.
There you go. So there's a lot of sidebar stories to the Super Bowl.
Should be a great game.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be terrific.
Game.
And if all else fails, just pay attention to the commercials.
Now, for those of you who really want to have some fun, at 12 o'clock Pacific time, go on the Animal Planet and see the 3rd Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, and there's a dog from Las Vegas that's
I know,
actually.
his name is Reno.
Yeah.
Reno.
Nice.
No, Keno.
That's
Keno.
it.
Cute little puppy.
Keno.
Let's go for it.
Keno.
I'm going to try to watch that.
Really?
I'll be working.
So where were we yesterday, Mr. Phillips?
Yesterday, yes, and yesterday was the annual induction ceremony to the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame and Museum. Of course, last week we had Joey Agarte and Gail Schreiber on the show talking about it. The likes of our very own Bruce Garrett, the commander, one of our own here at KLAV, who does a show Saturday nights. We also got an opportunity to meet his co-host, who co-hosts with him now, DJ Bad is her name. Gary Campbell, who's been on the air, who's been on radio for 53 years.
Wow. What a great man he is.
Absolutely. A gentleman by the name of Don Dino, who you and I were not familiar with, but we had an opportunity to be introduced to him yesterday.
Yeah, a great lounge singer.
Right.
And a lot of shoe polish.
A lot of shoe polish.
Yeah.
And we ain't talking for his shoes.
Hair.
A good friend from the Treniers.
Underarms.
Don Hill. Got a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Hall.
93.
93 years young. Karen Blackwell, Marty Allen's the legendary comedian, his wife, Karen Blackwell, and of course...
an entertainer in her own right.
In her own right. She's a singer, performer.
Little song to him.
And Marty Allen was also inducted with the Lifetime Achievement Award, will be 93 come March 23rd. And for his birthday weekend on the 23rd, 24th, he's appearing at the D downtown, where they're going to do this whole birthday thing for him.
Wow.
Or the Grand, I'm sorry.
Grand.
He's 93?
He's going to be 93. But sharp as a tack.
We're getting old, Ricky.
He told some jokes yesterday that, I mean, he was still
funny.
on.
He was right on target. Very funny stuff.
Actually, Mr. Irma contacted Diane. Apparently, he is embarking on a tour coming up on this spring. He was going to start it last year in the fall, and of course, he lost Steve Rossi, who passed away.
Right.
And I hope that they induct that man very soon. What a great entertainer he was.
I hope they do, too.
But apparently, Mr. Irma contacted Ms. Bobcat about doing social media, and apparently, Mr. Marty's looking to take a tour on this spring.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, seriously.
I can't believe it. I mean, he looks
There's a lot of frailty to his 93. I mean,
But once he opens his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
You know what he said when he opened his mouth?
Oh, exactly.
Hello there.
You know where he works out at, don't you?
No.
Right down the street at LVH, right down at the Las Vegas Athletic Club, right down the street.
Right down Sahara?
Yeah, right on Sahara.
Well, we had him on the show when we used to do a show with Don Hill, and Don brought him and Karen on as a guest. And as soon as he saw Cash yesterday, he remembered the interview. I was in Lake Havasu on vacation, and I actually Skyped into the studio that night when we were with our previous station, and we talked to them about hopefully getting them to come on soon with us. So hopefully Cash will connect with Karen and get that arranged, because that would be great to have him.
I can have him on.
That would be awesome.
We could have him on for a full hour, and he could just entertain.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be great. That would be tremendous. So speaking of upcoming guests, I think I announced this last week.
Yes.
And you teased it earlier in the show.
Yep.
For you wrestling fanatics that may still be out there, former wrestling WWE champion and current Hall of Famer Bob Backlund will actually be in town at the Toy Shack down at Fremont Street on Sunday, March 1st at 6 p.m. signing autographs, saying hello, and I'm going to go down there. I don't know if you want to go. We'll get Teddy, my dad.
Oh, absolutely.
John, we'll all go down there and say hello.
I just want to enjoy the fun.
And then Monday night here in studio at 7:30 p.m. we're going to pre-record an interview, because unfortunately he will not be in town on a Thursday where we can coordinate it to get him live in studio. So we're going to pre-record an interview with him and play it either. Well, I don't know if I want to play it on the 5th because I'll be out of town.
When is that again?
The 2nd.
The 2nd.
So if you can come in on that.
Yeah. I'll be here.
What's the date he's going to be?
Monday, March 2nd.
Nice.
And I'm leaving that Thursday night.
And what time? What time?
7:30 p.m.
Okay.
So I don't know if we're going to play it on the 5th when I'm not here, or we'll save it for the 12th when I'm back in studios. I want to hear the interview. Not that I couldn't hear it on podcast or at the YouTube. But so we'll be playing that. So as I mentioned, in 1978.
You will be here on the 5th.
Robin may not want me to deal with having to be in studio to rush for the red eye for my flight out that Thursday night, because I think our flight's like 10 o'clock or something, or 10:30. So PM. Yes. So I may just make life easier that Thursday and
Bobcat,
let you guys have the reins on the 5th.
And
look out!
And the Jpeg.
Look out!
The cat's away to mice are playing.
Maybe I'll have to send one of the beauties in to co-host with you. See which one of our beauty pageant queens.
Oh man, let's have a man cave that night.
Yeah.
Estrogen running around here.
Now listen to him.
Broads.
Unbelievable.
That means you're going to have to program that whole show. That's going to be all yours to program. Get guests.
Send me a thing of this over.
He doesn't have email. All right, on that note, let's step aside for our final break of the night as we get ready for some weird news, Mr. Cash.
Sounds good.
We haven't done weird news in a while.
I can't wait. I missed this part of the show.
Weird news coming up next, the part of the show that makes us feel good about our lives, because there are a bunch of idiots out there. So don't miss the news. We'll be right back. All righty.
You better do something.
I'm telling you. Jeez. We got dissed in one and pledged in the other. All right. It is that time of the show where we actually feel good about ourselves by realizing that the news of the weird makes us feel good about our lives. So, Mr. Cash, take us away.
This is the lead story, but I really think this should be under something called stupid people. 14 employees of a Framingham, Massachusetts pharmacy were indicted in December for defrauding the federal government by filling bogus prescriptions, despite an owner's explicit instructions to the staff that the fake customers' names must resemble the real names, with no obviously false names that might tip off law enforcement. So, among the names later found on the customer list of the New England Compounding Center were Baby Jesus, UJass, LL Bean, Fish O'Filet, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, Harry Potter, Cocoa Puff, Mary Lamb, all the Baldwin brother actors, a group of the Budweiser, Richard Coors, Raymond Rolling Rock, and of course, Samuel Adams. The indictment were part of an investigation of 2012 meningitis outbreak, which 64 people died.
Nice.
Very special.
All right. Under the category of, wait, what? The Territorial Seed Company of Cottage Grove, Oregon, introduced a plant in 2014 that sprouts, you ready for this? Both tomatoes and potatoes. The aptly named ketchup and fries plant. Grafting, rather than genetic modification, splices the tomato onto potato plants to create single plants capable of harvests of 500 red cherry tomatoes and 4.5 pounds of potatoes each.
I could dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's some cultural diversity. And no Camel jokes, please. 2 recent innovations to the generation-old Middle East sport of camel racing boosted its profile.
Uh-oh.
First, to cleanse the sport of a sour period in which children from Bangladesh were trafficked to use as jockeys.
Oh, no.
Owners have begun to use robot jockeys.
Now we have jockey trafficking?
Can you imagine this? Electronic dummies that respond to trainers tracking the races with walkie-talkies, growling encouragement directly into the camel's ears, and joysticks that trigger a whip at the appropriate time.
Nice.
All right? Mike.
Mike.
What day is it? Hey, what day is it?
I got one question for that. Is there any toe involved?
I was waiting for one of you guys to bring that up.
Okay, tell me, guys.
Speaking of the
Wait a minute,
opportunist.
I'm missing this.
Camel toe?
Camel toe. Don't
know what
camels
camel
have
toe is?
toes?
No.
After the show. After the show.
Are you serious? You don't know what camel toe is?
No. No.
All right, we got to have a talk later, man.
I'm stunned. I'm actually saying you don't know what camel toe is.
No.
Take him to the galley.
When a dump truck and a municipal bus collided around 1 p.m. on
Put
January
us up some pictures.
on January 5th in downtown Phoenix, it of course drew the attention of the passengers, bystanders, motorists, and nearby construction workers. According to a report in the Arizona Republic that he doesn't know what camel toe is, an unidentified man then immediately seized the moment, ran out from some bushes to the center of the commotion, and flashed the crowd before running away. You really don't know what camel toe is?
I know what a camel's toe is shaped like. Does it have anything to do with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a reproduction on the female anatomy when pants are pulled up too tight.
That's a camel's toe?
Oh, God. I am so glad I have this on film.
Here's the new normal. It's not fair.
You heard it here.
There is no justice in this country, shouted the mother of Franklin Ray, 17, in a New York City courtroom in January after a judge ordered the son tried to
That's the CASH-ISM of the year. I hope everybody realizes that.
Ray's, an unlicensed driver fleeing from police traffic stop, had plowed into a 4-year-old girl, killing her.
Look,
but
we
had
lost
initially
Bobcat.
convinced the judge to treat him as a youthful offender. Ray's mom was so enraged at the judge's switch that she had to be escorted from the room. After the judge's generous, youthful offending ruling, Riggs, of course, violated his bail conditions by getting arrested 3 more times. And if you ask any of these guys in this room if they heard any of that,
I was just going to say, could you read that again? Because I didn't hear a damn thing you said.
The answer
I
is
lost you
absolutely no.
You lost me at, so that's camel toe? You lost me right there. The most recent incident. This is
Wait, you still got internet access, right?
Yes.
Go home and Google camel toe.
Just ask Cammy what camel toe is.
No, don't do that.
You may not know either.
Don't do that.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you, don't do that.
Camille, no. Under recurring themes. The most recent incident of a fire breaking out on the grounds of a crematorium.
This is going to be the most downloaded show you guys have had in 6 years.
I have to be careful how I put that in the show description this week. Oh, my good. Well, we'll have to definitely put it on in the SEO search for the video.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Camel toe.
The most recent incident of a fire breaking out on the grounds of a crematorium occurred in December at the Innisval Cemetery and Crematorium of Innisfil, Ontario. Firefighters put out the blaze and rescued, quote-unquote, the 15 dead bodies that were awaiting cremation. That's like a double negative, isn't it?
All right.
What? You just
Some things are just worth the price of
This is serious
admission.
shit now, man.
I'm done. I'm so done. I almost came out with that F-bomb.
After this, I don't know that BCN Talk wants to come on this airwave after we just got done doing what we
Somebody's
just
going to
did.
have to clean the mic.
Oh my God! Yeah, you better have some Lysol spray ready there.
I gotcha.
Holy shnikes! I can't even think straight. Rarely does my partner confound me and leave me speechless, but tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is one of those nights. Thank you to Nicole and Sam from Compassion Care Hospice for coming on. We appreciate it. Want to thank the folks, the ladies of On Pit Road Racing. Check their chili cook-off judging talents this Saturday over at the Whole Foods on Charleston and Fort Apache. Sergio from Clubhouse Sports, a little Super Bowl talk.
Kathy.
Kathy Wrigley for stopping by, picking up her membership items, and of course, you, the listener, we appreciate you checking out with what we got going on. Next week is February 5th, the start of a new month. I don't know what we got scheduled because we were promised one thing, and I don't know if it's going to come to fruition. So we'll see what happens next week, Mr. Cash.
Doesn't matter to me. I'm easy.
Maybe we'll just have a.
They're setting him up for round 2.
Maybe we'll just have a lesson on Animal Kingdom next week on anatomy.
Make sure you watch the Puppy Bowl this weekend.
Enjoy the Super Bowl. Sometimes things just happen. You just can't follow them. I mean, it's just the way that it is, Mr. Cash.
I never heard of it. I never heard of it before.
I have to admit, I am utterly amazed.
I'm honest enough to.
No, and listen, I give you credit for saying it, but you are such a worldly man that to not know what camel toe is like an Eskimo. It's like yeah, right.
I did.
It would be like an Eskimo not knowing what an igloo is. I would dare say be kind to each other, but I think we've blown that tonight with you. So have a great week, everybody. Vegas Unwrapped next week. Be well.
Ricky.